Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, could have been a 3-game sweep of the Colorado Rockies by the Baltimore Orioles, but the Orioles, in true Oriole fashion, screw up the first game, blow it. I guess not technically late, but they did give up a home run late that broke the tie, but when your starting pitcher gives up 5 runs, maybe that's where you blew it. Yes, I'm on MassonSports.com. Let's get to game 1. Got lots to talk about. Here is it, game 1 I spoke of. Colorado Rockies 6, Baltimore Orioles 5. Yeah. Holiday 3 hits and an RBI. Westberg 1 hit and RBI. Ramon Laureano DHing. Over. I don't mind this as much. How did they get Carlson back to the roster? I don't even remember now. When did Carlson come back to the roster? Well, shoot. I honestly can't remember. No, can't remember at all. Carlson did make it back to the roster. I don't remember if I even talked about it. There's so many moves with all the injuries and whatnot. But since Carlson's back on the roster, that does give him 5 outfielders. So when you're putting in 4 in your lineup, as in 3 starters for defense and then 1 DH, I'm okay with that because that does give you that extra outfielder to play with for a substitution later. What I really don't like is, let's say, what they do with catcher. DH Adley Rutschman, start the backup at catcher. You have no catcher on the bench. Don't really like that. Tyler O'Neill, he has come on a bit since his reinstatement from the injured list. Hopefully he's over all that. Almost too little too late. How many games in are we? 115? No, that's not right. 110? Well, I guess now we're at 115 games in. 45 games left. How he performs in the next 45 games. Could that get him an option picked up for next year? Or has all the injuries and missing, close to 100 games because of injury, or at least it feels like close to 100 games, has that nixed any of those chances? I'm going to have to see, but he is hitting very well. 2 hits and an RBI in this game 1 here. Ramon Arias, 0 for but walked once. Mullins with 1 hit. Mayo got a lot of playing time in this series with 2 lefty starters on the hill for the Rockies. And then there was a blowout by the Orioles. Yeah, a blowout by the Orioles where Mayo got in time late because why not? Got to get him in there, get him his at-bats and such. Hit and an RBI. O'Hearn pinch hitting late. Trying to win the game. Your lefty-righty matchup didn't work out as O'Hearn strikes out. Cowser, over. If he doesn't start hitting, he'll be on the bench more often. Because O'Neill's hitting, Ramon Laureano's hitting, Mullins hitting. It's Austin or Alex Jackson. I think I called him Andrew Jackson before. It's not Andrew Jackson. Alex Jackson is his name. 2 hits and an RBI. Gunnar Henderson pitch hitting late. Again, trying to win the game. As you notice, Gunnar Henderson didn't start the game. Jackson, O'Neill, Holiday with doubles. Jackson, O'Neill, Westberg, Mayo with home runs. Yeah, Mayo's first home run off an actual pitcher, not just a position player standing out there on the mound. So sure, it counts as his first real home run. Not that the other home run wasn't a real home run as well. Jackson, Holiday picked off again. As I stated in previous videos, you need to get that guy on a leash. Yeah, I know how terrible that sounds, making a reference like that, but at the same time, he's young, and he's not, as far as I can tell, making good decisions on the base paths. Now, maybe when to move up a base, that's different, but let's say on a hit, a ball in play or whatnot. But as far as when to steal, or being able to get back to the bag when there's a move over, he doesn't seem to be doing that well in that area. Maybe try something in a crawl, walk, run phase where in the walk phase, which is what he should be in now, he doesn't do shit until the base coach tells him to. That would be the crawl phase. The walk phase should be he is able to make some of the decisions on his own, but he has oversight from the first base coach and assistants as well. And then maybe the run phase is, pun intended, I guess, he's on his own to take off whenever he wants. Just a suggestion, because how many outs has Jackson Holliday given away on the base pass? Could that have been a difference in this game? You would allow a base runner as a starting pitcher. You don't like that, because then you got to change your motions. But when he gets taken off the base pass really quick, what does that do? Makes things a little easier for you as a starting pitcher, don't it? Yeah. But whatever. I mean, keep doing whatever y'all doing, because it's not like it matters anyway. It's not like y'all gonna win nothing anyway, because y'all suck. But again, do whatever it is you think is right. Because you're winning a whole bunch of games and playoff games and World Series trophies doing what you want to do. Yeah. Dean Kramer got the start in this game, got the start in this game, not the greatest performance by Dean. It's not a terrible performance, but ended up giving up a little bit too many runs. He didn't give up that many. Home runs. One to Moniak, one to Estrada there. Does go 6 full innings, 92 pitches, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, does strike out 5. So, yeah, it's what? 2, maybe 1, 2 more runs than you really would like to see, but it's not awful. Partly because he gets through 6 innings. If he's only able to get through 4 or 5, then you got real problems. It's not too much of a problem. Offense just needs to get off their ass and do something. Solo shots, not going to win you games. Grant Wolfram in relief of Dean Kramer, pitching the full 7th inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. All right, not bad. I think he was a little shaky the previous outing before this one. So nice to see him have a good comeback here. Andrew Kittredge in for the 8th inning. It's where you blow the tie. Kramer let them tie it up. Kittredge gives the Rockies the lead. Home run. Pitching the full 8th inning, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts for Andrew Kittredge. You struck out the side. You didn't allow a walk, but you gave up the lead. Or I guess you gave up the tie. Or no, you gave up the lead. You gave the Rockies the lead. Shit happens, I guess, and it frequently does with this team. Corbin Martin in for the 9th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Well, zeros across the board is good. Okay, he didn't get any strikeouts. He didn't allow any runs, and he didn't walk nobody. That's good. Let's get to game 2. This game was a little more exciting, not only just by the offense, but a great play made by Cedric Mullins in center field. Much like the diving catch last year on Jackie Robinson Day. The little difference in the 2 catches is, I think, on the last year Jackie Robinson Day, he had to dive, and he had to get a lot of extension on that dive, or he was not going to catch this ball. This game, Saturday's game, slightly different. I do think he did have to kind of dive, but he didn't need that much extra length. It was still a nice catch. Still a fantastic catch. He also hits his 100th home run as an Oriole in this. So 100 home runs, 100 plus home runs, 100 plus stolen bases with the Baltimore Orioles. One of 3 Orioles to do that, Brady Anderson, and shit, I forgot who it was. Bunbury. It was Bunbury, right? Shit, I forgot already. Colorado Rockies 0. Baltimore Orioles 18. Yup. Jackson Holiday, 2 hits. Westberg hit an RBI. Henderson back in the lineup. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, walked once. O'Hearn, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Ramon Laureano, just 1 hit. Kobe Mayo, pinch hitting late. Again, you're a blowout. You want to get Kobe Mayo some at-bats. So you put him in there for Ramon Laureano and move O'Hearn to right field. Hey, whatever, man. Mayo hit 2 RBIs, also walked once. Cowser, there you go. Get some offense out of Cowser. Hit and 2 walks. Cowser walked twice. Must have been a really bad night for the Colorado Rockies. Tyler O'Neill, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, walked twice. Alex Jackson pinch hitting late because Tyler O'Neill DHing. Hitting an RBI for Jackson. Mullins, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Dylan Carlson, pinch hitting late, then playing center field. Got to get him some playing time. Hitting an RBI. Jacob Stallings also hitting an RBI. Woo! Not everybody had an RBI in this game. As you see, Jackson Holiday, Ramon Laureano, and Colton Cowser did not have RBIs. But everybody scored a run. As well as had a hit. Wow. Now, I know they had that blowout against the Rays, so I guess it has been somewhat recent that this offense finally breaks out and kicks the shit out of somebody else instead of, that Cincinnati Red game 24, giving up 24 runs. It's nice to see this. Hopefully, we get to see this a few more times. Henderson, 2, Laureano, Mayo with doubles. Jackson as in Alex Jackson, Mullins, and O'Neill with home runs. O'Neill, as of this game, was up to 5 home runs. And make up for lost time, huh? Cowser with a stolen base. Very nice for him. Trevor Rogers on the hill. Pitching 7 innings. 96 pitches. Did have an at-bat there somewhat late that went 13-ish, somewhere more than 10 pitches. So that may have killed the chance to come out for the 8th, but you got enough guys to cover it in the bullpen, so you're fine. Rogers going 7 full innings, does allow 1 hit, but no runs, walks 1, strikes out 5. And no, Rob Long, I will not apologize. Yes, watching the post-game O's Extra with Rob Long, and Rob Long telling everybody that was yelling about the Trevor Rogers trade last year that they need to apologize. I get what you're saying, Rob Long, but I will not apologize. Because it wasn't that I hated trading for Rogers. I didn't like who they gave up. I didn't want it to be Kyle Stowers and Connor Norby. To a certain extent, if you had given Kyle Stowers more playing time, you might have seen what he could become. And therefore, let's say you pick to keep Stowers and then give up Kjerstad. Or if you see Stowers as somewhat good and other teams see him and the potential, maybe you could have gotten away with just Kyle Stowers. So no, I won't apologize. Still didn't like the details of that trade. Still didn't like that we had to give up Norby and Stowers. Or really that they picked to get rid of Stowers and not get rid of Kjerstad. Because again, I saw it when I saw these guys play. All Kjerstad was going to give you was offense. But whatever. So far the trade's working out nice. Though Kyle Stowers has more than 20 home runs this year. So, how nice did it work out? Tough to say. They don't get a World Series, then who gives a shit? Yarmer Geraldo, yes, called up. I'll get to the articles and tell you about the transaction there in a minute. Pitching the 8th inning, the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Good. We have seen Geraldo not pitched so good. A few times he gets into games, and a few times it is the right word. Kyle Stowers treatment right there for Mr. Geraldo. Nice to see him coming and put up some zeros. Cage Stroud was actually pitched, I think, more per call-ups. I think Cage Stroud has actually seen more action than Geraldo, which seems weird. But, however, pitching the full ninth inning, does give up a hit, but no runs. Does walk one. Strikes out two. Okay. Cage Stroud looks okay there. Gonna have to fill some spots in the bullpen, though maybe we'll get one back soon. Again, article coming up. Sunday's game, Colorado Rockies 1, Baltimore Orioles 5. Yay! Woohoo! We're back to 11 games under 500. And the Rockies are much worse. Yes, this being the 115th game the Orioles have played. Westberg leading off. Yes, Jackson Holliday with a day off. Over for Mr. Westberg in the leadoff spot playing second base. Had a nice game at second base. Really nice defensive game at second base. But not liking the leadoff spot, I guess. Ramon Laureano hitting a walk. Henderson hitting a walk. Tyler O'Neill hit 2 RBIs and a walk. Ramon Arias, over. Cedric Mullins, over, but he did walk once. Mayo, 1 hit. Comes around and scores. So we want Carlson here. Excuse me. Carlson hitting 2 RBIs. There you go. Alex Jackson, over. Rutschman's coming back. Who are they going to get rid of? Jackson or Stallings? I don't know. Don't know. Might have some insight for you. Kobe Mayo with a double. Tyler O'Neill with another home run. Up to 6 now. Again, making up for lost time. Henderson's stolen base. Ramon Laureano caught stealing. Yes, giving out more outs on the base pass. All right. What game was it? Yeah, it was this game. Mr. Hill over here for the Rockies on the mound. Gunnar Henderson steals second base. Or was he on second base? No, he was already on second base. Wild pitch. And yeah. What's his name? Gunnar Henderson. Forgot his name already. Too many names. Gunnar Henderson takes third, obviously, but he doesn't really slow up. He's eyeing the pitcher, and he's eyeing where the ball is. Because sometimes when it hits the brick that back there behind the backstop, it kicks right back. Well, it didn't. It kind of sat there right up against the wall almost. But Mr. Hill, the pitcher, didn't break for home plate. So Gunnar Henderson did. So it's not technically a stolen base, but he did kind of steal 2 bases on a wild pitch. And a run. How about that? Nice heads-up play. Instead of, being up your own butt, it's up looking at the pitchers and figuring out what's going on with the game. So good job. He's young, got to mature in ways like that. Hopefully some of the other players, let's say Jackson Holliday, take some notes. Tomoyuki Sagano gets the start in this game. Now we got some information from Tony Mansolino in it was either a post-game or a pre-game press conference. I think it was the post-game press conference. Talking about Tomoyuki Sagano and doing some work with Drew French and some of the other pitching coaches and working some kinks out. Well, it looked like it in this start. Now, was Colorado Rockies? They haven't even won 30 games this year. Did that have something to do with it? Or some of the work that Tomoyuki Sagano and the pitching coaches are doing on the side? Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Sagano goes 6 full innings in this game. Does give up the 4 hits and the 1 run and 2 walks. But that's still pretty good. And then he strikes out 8. So, yeah. This is what we were seeing the first 2 months of the season. And the next 2 months was kind of shitty. Hopefully the last 2 months will be pretty good. Yanier Cano in for the 7th inning. Ooh, a little shaky for Cano walking 2. But pitching the full 7th inning. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Got through it at least. Andrew Kittredge on for a little bit of redemption. Pitching the full eighth inning, does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Sir Anthony Dominguez on for the ninth inning. And yes, that Gunnar Henderson play that did score in the eighth, the bottom of the eighth for the Orioles. So it would have been a safe situation. Dominguez was ready to get up there. He hasn't gotten into too many games recently, so you kind of just went with it. And seemed to do okay. Pitching the full ninth inning, Sir Anthony Dominguez doesn't give up 1 hit, but no runs and no walks, striking out 1. Cool. All right, we just need this to go moving forward. It's kind of a bit of a buzzsaw coming up on the schedule, but all right. Let's get to some of these articles, talk about some of these roster moves. Jeremiah Jackson was the player that they called up after the Soto trade. Mr. Jackson actually plays the infield. So they played that Friday game down a pitcher. Because I guess. I don't get that. That makes 0 sense. Because you already have... Maybe it was Luis Vasquez they sent away. I don't remember who the hell it was. Damn it. I don't remember why the hell Carlson's up here. Maybe that's why. Though to a certain extent, you got Holiday, Henderson, Arias, Westberg. You don't need another infielder, really. Then you got Mayo and... What's your name? O'Hearn. So... maybe that's what it is. But... they got that extra infielder for that one game. And then, the next day... Yarmel Geraldo called up and Jackson sent away. Why didn't you just do that? Okay. I mean, whatever, man. Do whatever. It's either working for you or it really isn't working for you. Again, you don't have any playoff wins, so I'm more inclined to say it's not working for you. But, again, keep doing whatever you want to do. Oh, I'm sorry. This article here, the first article was written by Rock Kabatko. The second article was also written by Rock Kabatko. Yeah, that's one of the only articles I look like. Brendan Mortensen doesn't always have useful articles. I mean, for my purposes anyway. He just does some nice work. Rock Kabatko is the main guy here. That's why. This article here talking about, yes, does mention Rutschman and Aiken, but that's not really what I'm taking out of here. I'll talk about that. Next article, talking about a few guys doing some rehab assignments. Kyle Bradish has made 1 start in single A. One of the A's down there seems okay. Will make another start Tuesday. Tyler Wells will make his first rehab start Wednesday. Cool. Awesome. Getting them guys moving. Hopefully not too fast to where, they don't come back right, but hopefully they come back right. Ryan Mountcastle also doing some rehab assignments. He's out there, he's running, he's hitting, he's not feeling any adverse effects from the hamstring. What happens, though? Because you're not just going to call Ryan Mountcastle back up and, keep O'Hearn and Kobe Mayo? I think one of the 3 is going to get traded, and I don't think it's going to be Kobe Mayo. I think it'll either be O'Hearn or Mountcastle getting traded. Now, Mountcastle being the one that hasn't really played because of the hamstring injury, been out, 2.5 months? It's probably not going to be Mountcastle. It will probably be O'Hearn. He is... he's 32. He turned 32 during his series, so the upside to keeping O'Hearn is relatively low. Okay, it'd be nice to have him, for another 5 years, but at the same time, the next you give him a 5-year contract, he's 37. I mean, you hate to give him up, but at the same time, supposedly, you got somebody just as good in Basayo as far as hitting. And I feel, honestly, I like the defense of Kobe Mayo. And if you don't think Kobe Mayo is a better defensive first baseman, that's fine, because Ryan Mountcastle definitely is a better better defensive first baseman than Ryan O'Hearn. So, again, yeah, it'll suck to get rid of Ryan O'Hearn, but it does seem like he's going to fetch the most in return. And to a certain extent, there's not a whole lot to his future. What's he got? 3, maybe 4 years left playing Major League Baseball? He's 32. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes. I mean, maybe he'll play till he's almost 40, but what kind of production you getting out of him? So, yeah. Sell high. That's kind of why. And because you have the depth in your organization. You do. Maybe even in the future you keep, let's say, Mayo on the roster and you keep 3 catchers because, let's say, Adley Rutschman and Samuel Basallo can play first base. Basallo's played it in the minor leagues. We've seen Rutschman play first base in the major leagues. I mean, I think it was some kind of goofy switcheroonie that they were trying to do, but that's fine. And then you have another catcher. So let's say you have your offensive catcher in Basallo, you have your balanced catcher in Rutschman, and you have a defensive catcher like maybe Maverick Hanley if he ever can come back. I like that idea because I do think catchers get kind of beat up. And if you have one that can play first and catcher, well then maybe that's really your tag team in the first base, but he can also catch in a pinch. You know? We'll see how that goes moving forward. The trade deadline is this Thursday. Or this Wednesday? 31st. The end of this month. Whatever the hell day that is. Yeah, it should be, Thursday what did I say? Thursday? This Thursday, the 31st, trade deadline. So we'll see. All right, here's the article right here by Rock Kabatko. Today's article, Rutschman and Aiken returning to the Orioles. Who exactly is being sent away has not been confirmed yet, but it is suspected that it will be Yalmar Geraldo going for the pitching side, and Rock mentions Jacob Stallings as the one get designated for assignment, not Alex Jackson. I don't know who I'd go with. I mean, it's a tough one. I feel that with O'Neill being back, you don't need an extra hitter. I don't think. I think you need a defensive catcher. Because you give Rutschman a break, and you DH in somebody like O'Neill or even Lariano or Kaiser or somebody, the offense shouldn't suffer too much. But we'll have to see. I'd rather have the better defensive catcher in Jacob Stallings. But I think Alex Jackson is a little younger, so again, the upside there. There's more room for improvement for Jackson because he is a little younger. But again, we don't know. Well, I could refresh this and see if anything has come out. Or maybe refresh this page and see if there has been an update. Has this been updated? Oh, it does. Well, it does say right here, Rock. Maybe I feel like this has changed a little bit, and I don't know if it has been, but it does say designate Jacob Stallings for assignment and option Yalmar Geraldo. So there's that. Good thing their refresh button works. Let's just get to wrap this shit up. Get the hell out of here. Orioles playing 4 games in 3 days because of a rainout several months ago with the Toronto Blue Jays. When the first time Toronto Blue Jays were in town, which was all the way back in... Where are you? Way far back there. In April. Yeah, the Friday, April 11th game was postponed. So that's what they're going to do Tuesday. Split doubleheader. Not a single admission. Split doubleheader. So 4 games, and then they'll get an off day Thursday. Yay, off days. Monday's game, today's game scheduled 6:35. Tomorrow's game, first game tomorrow scheduled 12:35. Second game tomorrow scheduled 6:35. Wednesday's game scheduled 12:35. Yay! Early games, woohoo! And then some crazy ass shit at the Cubs. All 3 games scheduled for 2:20. Wow, that's crazy. Oh well. That's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Thursday, and we'll discuss the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.